Hey gang, so I thought I'd get out here, literally outside. I hope this lighting is okay for everybody. But I just, today is just absolutely brisk and crisp and the sun shines out, and I've been getting some questions about how to prepare for a cycling event. Now, let's just backtrack on that question, because a cycling event can mean a lot of different things to different people. So going out for your weekly Saturday ride can be a cycling event for some people. Going to a race can be a cycling event. Going to a Gran Fondo can be a cycling event. So for any type of event, you need to prepare the same. And that's in my opinion, because you depend on depending on you need certain energy levels to get through your event. So if you're a beginner, you're going to work as hard. I'm totally on with that, as somebody who's going there to, podium, because you're both working hard to get through your event. So you need to do the same things. You need to think about the same things, no matter what level you are. So you may be thinking, well, I'm just a beginner. I don't need to do these things. Yes, you do. Everybody does. It's called balance and being able to maintain, sustain, make it through your ride to the end without bonking. So I hope you guys are ready for this information, because this is something that I've been doing, since I started racing in 2005, so about 15 years. I still do it to this day. I was coached well by my coach. I took all of the information in that she gave me, and I continue to apply it. I don't try and figure it out, because it's worked for me, and I've read the same material in cycling books, manuals and stuff like that. So, but the thing is that when you're coached, nobody talks about certain things. They're just like, okay, this is what you do to train. This is what you do for your hill repeats, things like that. So I'm just checking. Oh, clean your lens once in a while, right? So you get a nice clear picture. And so there's all sorts of things to prepare yourself mentally, physically, mechanically, to get through your event, to your event. So we always say the first challenge is to get to the start line. You need to get yourself mentally to the start line. A lot of people psych themselves out, like, oh my gosh, am I good enough? Have I trained enough? Have I done this? Have I done that? It's a huge mental game to get to a start line. Can you agree? It could be for anything. So what I've done, if you want to take a screenshot of this is something that I put together. And since we're Thursday, we're going to talk about what you're going to do today, right? Now, let me just tell you something, that preparing and deciding to do an event like the next weekend, you can only expect to get certain results if you have not been preparing for this for, a couple months. So let's get real. Let's get real about that. You're just going there to either have fun or finish, or it's a challenge, but there's the goal is just to finish. Okay? So I'm super excited that so many people decide to do events, because that's what drives the sport of cycling. Now, last year we had a group of ladies, 12 of us, who decided to do an event that was in September. We made the commitment in May. So what we did is we trained throughout the summer to get to our goal. And that's the proper way to do it, obviously. But right now we're going to talk about how to prepare ourselves to get through the event on Sunday. Okay? So let's talk about today. So we got Thursday. Now, I always talk about balance because you can't just sit there and go, oh, did I train enough? Maybe you did, but did you get everything that is needed to get your goal? And I'm talking like, have you been sleeping well? Okay? Have you been under a massive amount of stress? Have you been eating well? Like, all these things go into play. I cannot talk about, how to prepare for your day without talking about your life and what you've been doing leading up to it. It's impossible because everything plays a fundamental part in where you're going and what you need to do. So if you're under a lot of stress at work, meaning you probably aren't eating well because you're too stressed out, you forget to eat lunch, you snack on nuts, and you think that's okay. Drink lots of coffee. Okay, so we're talking, and then you get very little sleep because you're so stressed out, and then you're expecting to get up the next morning to do some hill repeats, and you just don't have the energy. Or you just don't have the energy at the end of the day. So you have to think about, because some people come in, they ride on Saturday, and they're like, oh, so I said, what was your week like? Forget about the day or the day before. I said, what has your week looked like? Have you been sleeping well? Because if you haven't been sleeping well, and you've been overdoing it with training, thinking that it's okay, then, you think you're going to perform well on the weekend, you got to think again, forget it. It's not going to happen. And you're going to be depressed and upset, and you're going to go into I'm not good enough. It just spirals down. So you have to have life balance. I know. I just asked a question about it, but you're going to get the whole gamut because you have to, that's, that's just everything. And I can't not talk about it because then I wouldn't be doing you a disservice as your coach. All right, so Thursday, we're talking about life balance, sleep. So I marked the fundamentals. Sleep. I'm not talking 4 hours of sleep. 5, not talking 5, like 6, 7, 8. Are you getting enough sleep? Okay? And then there's the quality of sleep. Okay? Are you tracking that? These are things that you can track. Then management, stress management. Do you have a way to manage your stress? And I'm not talking about going out to hammer out your stress. I'm talking how are you dealing with the stress at work or at home? Are you dealing with it? Are you taking care of it? Are you addressing it? Things like that. Okay? Not going to forget it because it doesn't disappear, and that is going to be something that's going to stick with you until you manage it or take care of it. Okay? Nutrition, energy. Okay, people, we need to take a certain amount of nutrition in. I will talk about nutrition till the cows come home and even after that, because nutrition affects sleep, affects stress, and if you're not getting the right amount of nutrition, protein, carbs, fats, if you're depriving yourself of any one of those because you think it's going to help you lose weight or make you faster or whatever it is that you're thinking about, think again, because you need a certain amount of everything and you can't deprive yourself of one thing. Okay, so no low carb whatever. Your body needs carbs, your brain needs carbs. You can decide what kind of sugars you take into your body through your carbs. So if you're thinking you have a super healthy diet, I would challenge you on that 100%. I would say track it for a week and let's talk. So if you think, you're on a good track and you're losing, you don't have energy, you're not recovering, you're stressed, you're sleep, don't tell me you have a good diet. You're lying to yourself. You're lying to me. Okay? So get in, track it, and then you make the assessment whether it's good or not. Okay, so anyways, energy comes from everything. Okay? You know, nutrition helps everything. You know, man. So if you, my advice, okay, and this is just something that I found 8 years ago, and yeah, I'm going to talk about isogenics because the older we get, the more we need to supplement to stay ahead of the game. And we are not getting it from our foods these days because they are super nutritionally bankrupt. We all know that. So whether you supplement, if you think you don't supplement, but you take magnesium, potassium, iron, calcium pills, those are supplementations. Now what if you could get those from like a food that you could drink? So I will always talk about isogenics. It's something that I found that has helped me through the last 8 years as a mom, competitive cyclist, competitive figure competitor, and just now that I'm 3 months from my 50th birthday, just staying in a healthy state, okay? Helping manage my stress, helping me sleep, helping me get the nutrients in that I need that I'm not getting from my current food, helping me recover from my long rides, okay? Long rides, like, put you out. I'm sorry. I don't know about you, but I feel it more than now that I'm older. And you can't deny that. So having a good recovery program, good recovery product that's not full of crap, you know, like artificial flavors, coloring, blah, blah, blah. And that's why isogenics for me, and I share it with you, whether you want to hear about it or not, is been one of the fundamental parts that I use as my nutrition on a daily basis to have the maximum amount of energy that I need. Helps me sleep because I'm getting good nutrition in. I'm not snacking on empty carbs and stuff like that and nuts all the time, even though I sometimes do. And it helps me manage my stress, and I get the maximum out of my training. So that's the thing. We want to get the maximum out of our training so that we can go to our events supercharged and ready to go, right? Okay, so, you know, I will continue to talk about isogenics because when I get into my own preparation, my own meals, breakfast, stuff like that, this is now what I use. I used to use other things. I've gone through different stuff, and this is what I found that works the best. It's cost effective, it's easy, I order it, comes to my door. I don't waste time or money or food, wasting food. So anyways, I'm not going to continue on that, but Thursday, today, okay, training. This is the last day you could probably get in a good long ride, hard ride, okay? So don't do it on Friday and don't do it on Saturday. Strategy is everything if you want to have the best results, whatever they are, on your event day, okay? So strategy, so think about, so say we have an event coming up and we're doing loops of the Gatineau Park, so 1, 2, or 3. So you know how you feel on doing 1. So how are you going to feel on 2? How are you going to fuel yourself? How are you going to ride? Where are you going to put more of your efforts in? Things like that. And then what's your lap 3 going to look like? Is that where you're going to slog it through because you hammered it out the first 2 or the first 1? You lost all your energy. You didn't fuel properly. You're now sucking wind and all you want to do is finish. Okay, so you got 2 options. You can finish your event that way, totally depleted, tired, or strong. 2 ways. So strategy. Today, training. This is your time for your last long ride. If you're going to do some hill repeats, today's the day. Okay? Now, I'm just putting out advice here. You can do whatever you want. but from the coach, this is what I recommend. Okay? Now, Friday. Now, I've always encouraged it, and if you coached with me or went with me to an event or a race, you've gotten this. Like, I lay out a plan to the T of what you're going to eat, when you're going to eat, when you're asleep, all these things, because it plays a big role. You don't think the guys from the Tour de France don't have a schedule that they follow to have optimum recovery? Like, as soon as they get off their bikes, they're into recovery mode, working on their legs, massage, whatever pressure they put on. So there's strategy. Same with figure or bodybuilding. The week leading up to, strategy, because that will determine how you show up on your competition day. And if you got something wrong, that could be the end of your event before you even step on stage. And I'm not even kidding. So it's very important. You can be strict about it, or it depends on, what your goals are, right? If you want to have a strong event, then you're going to stick with it. If you just, out there to have fun, yeah, you can do whatever. But you're going to suffer in some way because you're not following something. Okay? So Friday. I always say that Friday is the night to get your good night's sleep, because Saturday night is usually the night when you're leaving things till the last minute, you're stressing, you're preparing, you're packing, you're getting everything ready, and then you don't get a good night's sleep. Okay, so Friday is the sleep night. 8 hours, solid, rested. Still, we're always sticking to our nutrition. 5 meals a day, main breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, supper. If you want to do an extra protein shake at night, protein shake before you go to bed. And if you're a I don't eat breakfast kind of person, you need to switch that, because that's not gonna. And if you're like intermittent fasting all the time, like, you're gonna suffer. Sorry, you can't do that all the time. There's a time and a place to do stuff like that. Okay. Managing your stress, again, super anxiety doesn't help with your sleep. Super anxious, you forget to eat, so this just fuels that if you're not getting it. And then preparation, so rest, so this is your rest day. Active recovery, nothing heavy, little workout, walks, stuff like that. Okay, take this seriously. Okay, because you need to rest from the rest of the week. Today's workout, you rest today, and if you have something you need to do with your bike, get it done. Don't be that person that runs into the bike shop, and you can't do that now, and say, oh my God, my derailleur's not working, can you fix it? Like at the last minute. No bike shop likes that person. Don't be that person. So today and tomorrow, get your bike fixed, or looked at, or change your tires, or whatever it is that you need to do for your bike. Maintenance, right? Okay? So there's your Friday. Now Saturday, and I can't stress this enough, you have to go out for like at least a 45-minute easy. Talking easy, like heart rate doesn't go above zone 1. Your legs are spinning. It's a flat ride. It's like you were getting on your bike to go to the convenience store, right? That's it. Easy. Do it. Because you don't want to be putting efforts into your legs because you have to. This is Sunday. That's the day. This is just opening up your legs, keeping them fresh. Okay? So, easy. Don't think like, oh my gosh, I got to go hard. No. Easy. Today hard, tomorrow rest, easy ride. Preparation. What are you going to eat? Saturday, you don't need to carb load, but you need to eat food regular during the day so you have a constant energy flow, right? Like if you deprive yourself of food, your sugar levels are going to drop. You go that spike that, like, oh, I need to eat a chocolate bar because like I'm so down here and then I spike up here and then I go down here. That's why you eat 5 times a day, because you keep your blood sugar level balanced, your insulin levels balanced, your insulin, cortisol levels, straight line, not this. Okay? Stress drives up your cortisol levels, makes your heart race, you can't sleep, you're off on your nutrition. I mean, I can talk at length about that, but Saturday is a time to prepare your stuff. So preparing, like if you need to, and I would highly recommend you pack your car the night before and make sure everything is ready. So your bike is in the car, you got all your tools on it, you know, your pump, your tire, everything that you need, right? For a flat or a mechanical. Okay, you have to be prepared for that. Now, I have this amazing bag. Now, I know not everybody has this. Get a bin. Dedicate a bin to all your bike crap, bike stuff. Bottles, shoes, socks, arm warmers, leg warmers, hats, helmet, food, extra tubes, pumps, things that you might need, jackets. Put it all in your bin so that you have everything. Okay, and so this is what you're going to pack the night before, and so you don't forget your helmet the day of. Like, imagine, or, oh, where are my shoes? Put those, bike, shoes, helmet, put them in the car. Okay, get them ready. And then you pack everything else. So what are you going to eat the day of? You need some hydrate, some electrolytes. People, if you're not putting any kind of electrolytes in your water, stop depriving your body of the minerals that you're losing. This is the only way you're going to hydrate. Otherwise, you're going to have a belly full of water. Okay, so I recommend Amped Hydrate from Isogenics. It's way low sugar if that's what you care about. It's got all the vitamins and minerals. It's got B12, B6 in it, and it's all natural. Okay, like if you want me to talk about Scratch, I don't know what Scratch. There's lots of other products. Just find one. Okay, this one you can order wholesale to your door. I can't even. This is my like ultimate favorite product because it's so nice on your stomach. It is on mine because the sugars and the other ones are just too much. Now decide. Now here's the formula. 100 calories every 45 minutes. You're working harder on this event. So this is a hilly event. We're just going to talk about, you know, the one we're working on. So if it's a hilly event, you're going to be working 100% harder. So you are going to be burning more energy. So you're going to have to eat more. Does that make sense? It kind of makes sense. So you have to bring more stuff. So if you're doing 1 lap, 2 laps, 3 laps, no matter what you're doing, you're going to be working hard. So don't go out with like a piddly little like, you know, jelly beans or cubes or something like that. Like those are like, how many calories are each? You have to calculate that. You can't be popping jelly beans all the time, like honestly. Find a good bar that has protein and carbs, not a protein bar. Okay, protein is for recovery. It's not for energy base. It never has been. Stop eating protein bars. Eat bars that have carbs in them. Okay? Because you need it. You're burning it. And then stay away from the sugars because that really hurts your stomach. It does mine. And I'm sure you can find something natural. Go natural food. Like maybe cut up a bagel with some peanut butter or cube up sweet potato and microwave them so they're super easy to eat. What else? People love bananas. I don't get it. I've never eaten a banana. Things that will give you fast release of sugar. I know, scary. People are like, I can't eat sugar. Yeah, you can't eat sugar. Okay? You're cycling for a while. You need sugar. Okay? You need food. Okay? Your breakfast is so important. Okay? No coffee, and like whatever. You need to have at least 300 to 400 calories in your breakfast. So if you don't know what that is, download Carb Manager and calculate it. You need to have a good solid breakfast that is high in carbs, okay, with some protein in there. Now, if you're like the oatmeal person, make sure you have protein in there, okay? Egg whites, protein powder, cottage cheese, something, okay? And make sure you consume your breakfast at like 2 hours before your event. Don't show up eating breakfast. That needs time to be digested so you can use it as energy, okay? We all know that. And if you don't know that, now you do. So plan your breakfast appropriately. Make sure you got your water bottles ready. You got everything packed. You got meal bars or bars that have carbs in them in your back pocket. Make sure they're accessible. Cube them up so you can eat them easily. Prepare yourself. Okay? Don't think of this the morning of, because there's nothing worse than being super stressed showing up to an event. Show up early. Okay? Me, when I coach with my racing team, we show up 2 hours before race time. 2 hours. And you don't want to know why? Because we are low stress. I don't like stress. If something's going to happen, it's going to happen before the race starts, right? Like a tire needs to be changed. We need to warm up. We need to find a place to set up. So I am always the first person on, to show up. And I don't care, because I get the best spots, for my team. Set up the tent. But, when you show up early, you have time to prepare. You have time to breathe. Don't be that stress monger that shows up ripping into the parking lot, gets a bike out, forgets things and stuff like that. Don't be that person. Show up early. Take your time. Get dressed. Warm up. Figure out where you're going to put your food. Make sure you have your bottles ready. If you forgot something, you have time to figure it out. If something's not working, you have time to figure it out. When you enter an event on low stress, you have a great event. When you go in there totally stressed out to the max, you're going to have a crappy event, because your heart rate's already racing before the start even happens. So with that, guys, Sunday, arrive early, breakfast, super important, very hearty, 400 calories, trust me. I eat 600. People are like, what? But I start at 4 hours before the event. Big breakfast, small breakfast, snack before I start. And that was taught to me my very first race 15 years ago. And I've been doing it ever since.